What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with a banger of a video, a true hoot and a holler. In today's video, we're talking about some of the worst Molly that I've ever done in my life. Honest to God, I don't even know if it was Molly, but we'll get to that. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Drop a like if you do. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and also head over to goblin420.com and get your hands on some merch today. If you guys do buy some merch, please DM me your receipt on either Instagram or Twitter, and I'm gonna follow a few people and show some love. Thank you all so much for the support on the merch. Since my channel is demonetized, the merch sales really go so much further than you guys could ever imagine, and I really appreciate the support. Without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So today's video took place in early 2021, and back a couple of years ago when this took place, I was still living closer to central Illinois and driving back up north to visit a lot of my hometown friends. And that's exactly what I did on this fateful day. I had driven up from my old town, drove back up closer to Chicago to hang out with some of my old high school buddies. Now, as soon as I got back up north, one of my first friends who ended up hitting me up was my boy Sam, someone who those of you guys who have been watching my videos for a while, you're probably very familiar with Sam. He's been a great friend of mine for a long time, and I usually would hang out with him pretty much every time that I went back up north. And now that I live back up north, we get to hang out a little more, but back in these days, it was a big occasion, you know? It was a big deal. Me being back in town, we had to link up. So I hit up Sam, and I asked what he was doing, and he was always free. This man would make the damn time. I'm telling you, Sam is a friend you want to have. This man would not flake, okay? He will give up anything he's doing. If this man, literally this has happened before, if this man said he's going to hang out with you and then like something else comes up, he will blow that arguably more important thing off to hang out with you. One time he told me the day prior that he was free to hang out, and then when the time came around the next day, he realized that he had to work. So he just said, fuck that, and skipped work because he forgot about it instead of just going and us hanging out a different day. This man was dedicated to the degeneracy. It was his life, his soul, his spirit. But Sam told me he was free, and I was very excited to see him. I was like, whatever we're going to get up to tonight, I know damn well it's going to be fun. I had brought some of my own goodies from back home, and I was sure that he probably had some or was with someone that had some, so I started whipping on over there. Now, I drove on over to Sam's house, and once I got over there, I was greeted by him and another one of his friends who I hadn't seen in a very long time, and someone that I wasn't very fond of. You see, Sam, you know, he's an interesting case. You know, I'm going to try to explain this the best way I can without necessarily diving into his business too much. But Sam, essentially, he takes some medications for some mental health issues that he has. And those medications sometimes make him, I guess the best way to put it would be easy to take advantage of. And sometimes he hangs out with some sleazy people that we used to go to school with that, you know, they'll hang out with him to use him for his money or for his car or because they can get him to throw for things while he's just geeked off the meds and not making good decisions, right? So in a way, I kind of feel a responsibility as his longtime friend to look out for him in that sense and make sure that those people aren't hanging out with him. And this person that was there when I got there was someone that him and I had discussed before. Someone that I told him before, like, hey man, this guy's no good. Like, you shouldn't be kicking it with this guy. And at the end of the day, you know, it's Sam's decision. It's his own damn life. But also, like, dude, this guy's literally, he crashed on Sam's couch, threw no money for like months, was just mooching, eating all his food out the fridge and shit, wouldn't leave, and Sam would bitch about it to me every single day. I'd never heard the end of it. So me seeing this guy again, I was displeased to say the least. I was not happy. But you know what? I was just gonna smile and go with it, because whatever. Maybe he's different now. Let's see how it goes. It was a little while since that had happened, so we'll see how it plays out. So I dap Sam up, and I dap up his friend, who we're gonna refer to as Freddy. Now, Freddy, as I just described, is a complete degenerate. I mean, Freddy is genuinely a bottom feeder, okay? This guy just couch surfs, okay? And he had a weird habit of fucking all of Sam's exes. So whenever Sam would, like, break up with a girl, for some reason, Freddy would get with her, and Sam was just okay with that. This guy was a sleazebag, okay? I hated him. And this night sealed the deal for me. I told Sam, I said, Sam, if I ever see you kicking it with Freddy again, I'm gonna fucking kill him. And lo and behold, he never kicked it with Freddy again, at least that I saw. He never brought him around me. But either way, I'm chilling with Freddy and I'm chilling with Sam, and we're hanging out at his apartment for a little bit, and Freddy wants to go out and get some drinks, which I'm game for, bro. I'm super down. Sam was never really the kind of guy to go out and get drinks and go to a bar, so I was excited for it. I was like, yo, Sam in the bar environment is gonna be a trip, dude. I am ready for this. So we pop out of Sam's crib, and we end up riding in Freddy's car to a bar that's like maybe 5 minutes away. And this is not one of those big popular bars where we're gonna be shoulder to shoulder only drinking vodka crayons all night. This is one of those like depression bars where they have 5 slots in the corner. Everyone there is probably in a crippling amount of debt and they don't want to talk about it. If you see a woman in there, she's at least mid-30s and probably recently divorced, and she probably doesn't want to talk about that either. It's just one of those Midwest bars. If you're from the Midwest, you can probably picture this place to a T, because there's one of these joints on every corner here in the Midwest, all right? We like to get drunk and depressed out here. So that's what we did. We got drunk and depressed. We fucking hopped out of Freddy's shitty little whip, and we went straight in the bar. Now, we're sitting at the bar, we're ordering a couple drinks, and Sam's not really much of a drinker, and I'm starting to realize pretty quickly that we only went to the bar because Freddy likes to fucking drink. So I'm ordering some drinks, and I'm like, fuck it, I'll drink with Freddy. Sam got like one drink and just babysat it the whole night, but things escalated pretty quickly when, as we were sitting at the bar, Freddy busts out a little baggie with some capsules in it. He pops one himself, he throws one to Sam, who pops it before even thinking, and then he offers me one as well, and I made the poor decision of also agreeing to pop one without even thinking about it. I popped one, and then after I took one, I asked him what it was, which is a grand rule that you should never violate. Ask what the drug is before you take it, ladies and gents. Don't be like me. So I took this shit and then asked him what it was, and he told me it was Molly. So I asked him what the dosage was, and he told me it was about a 0.2, and I was like, shit, okay, a 0.2, that's a pretty solid dose, that's going to have me ready to rumble. So I was looking forward to rolling. I was like, bet, say less, I got a little roll ahead, maybe we'll actually have a good night. Maybe I'll get to know Freddy a little better and not fucking hate him anymore. At least that's what I was hoping was going to happen. So we spent a little more time at this bar, and me being the degenerate I am, if there's a slot machine and liquor in the same vicinity, I'm going to double dip and partake in both. So I get a couple drinks in me, and I head over to the slot machines, and I lit like $60 on fire faster than you've ever seen it done before, okay? That money disappeared faster than the Ocean Gate submarine. I'm telling you right now, it vanished, okay? Thin air, ladies and gentlemen. So after I vaporized my little $60, I said no more to the slots. I went back over to the bar, and as I was sitting there, I ordered another drink, and I was a couple drinks deep at this point, and I started feeling kind of funky. I wasn't really feeling a normal Molly come up. Typically, when I'd take a 0.2, that's a fairly high dosage, That's nice. A 0.2, you could break that in half and parachute it and still have a great fucking time, right? Still have a full roll. But a 0.2, that's definitely a decent sized dose. That's a dose where you're going to be feeling it in your veins. You're going to get pumping. You're going to feel super hype. It's going to be exciting, right? It's going to be very, very exciting. However, that's not what I was getting at all. Instead, I started getting almost like clammy, and I got really cold. I started sweating a little bit despite not feeling hot. And I got this general discomfort about me that I really didn't like. The most comparable feeling that I think I can maybe, draw a comparison to is Adderall. It felt kind of similar to how I would feel whenever I would take a bunch of Adderall, and I hated that feeling. I did not like it whatsoever. Typically, when I would take a 0.2, I'd start feeling that just warmth pumping through me. I'd feel the vibes almost flowing, like you could literally visualize the vibes, I'd just start chatting a little more. I'd start nodding my head to the music, enjoying whatever was playing. And that's how I knew that something was up, because even as I was starting to feel a little wonky off whatever capsule I threw down my throat, the music in the bar still sounded like shit. And that's a problem. That is a big problem, because off a true 0.2 with some good Molly, motherfucker, you could play anything in front of me. Throw on some Ice JJ Fish. I'm turning that shit up, brother. I'm blowing out the speakers on that, okay? So right off the bat, I knew something was up. The weird thing is, too, I don't know if Freddy was playing some strange game or he was trying to, I don't even know what he was doing, just play up how hard he was rolling, but he just would not shut up about how hard he was bussing. It felt like every 60 seconds, this guy would go, yo, I'm fucking bussing, dude, and then he would go in to dap you up. He was one of those guys. Whenever he gets fucked up, he would just get hype and just dap you up 500 times. I hate those guys, all right? Freddy was one of those guys, okay? So he's in the bar, he's got a couple drinks in him, and now he's rolling, and he's just like, yo, I'm bussing, and he just fucking daps me up, locks it up, I'm like, yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm kind of twitching, but I mean, you have fun. He's over there just having the time of his goddamn life, and I'm sitting there like, damn, this is not fun. I'm sitting at the bar with Sam, and I asked Sam, I'm like, Sam, how are you feeling? He's like, fine. Dude, I don't know if it was like his medication or what, but this shit, it never even fazed him, dude. I never even saw a reaction out of this guy after taking that capsule. It's like he somehow got more depressing after the capsule. Listen, Sam, I mentioned this earlier, but he takes some medication, and he changes medication fairly often, and I'm not going to say exactly what it's for. Once again, that's not my business to share, but he takes medication, and it's like a mixed bag. I mean, there are literally separate Sam arcs where he was an entirely different person based on what meds he was taking. Like one day he was on his sober journey, off a certain med. Then the next day he was convinced that his coworkers were trying to kill him. He told me one time he had to show up to work in a suit of armor, and he was dead serious about it. Like, there are different arcs of Sam that are based on the medication that he was taking at the time. And whenever he was taking it this particular time, had him absolutely stone-faced, like he just got hit by Medusa, okay? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, this guy's completely unfazed by this. Now I'm really worried about what we took, dude. We got Freddy over here tweaking the fuck out. Sam is just stone-cold killer over here, and I'm twitching. So I don't really like this at all. So we chill out at the bar a little longer, and after another maybe like 10, 15 minutes, Sam was actually the clutch guy to bring up the idea of leaving. Sam was like, yo, like, we should leave, bro. I'm not really feeling good. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, maybe you weren't supposed to take this drug while you were on your med? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Either way, let's get the fuck out of here. So we skedaddle out of the bar and we whip back over to Sam's house. And listen, yo, I'm just going to say it right now. Was Freddy in any condition to drive? No, probably fucking not. Was I making good decisions? No, probably fucking not. Get an Uber. In this situation, get a goddamn Uber, okay? I wasn't smart enough to do that. I rode in Freddy's car and luckily everything was okay. So we get back to Sam's apartment and we go back upstairs, and luckily I had also brought a little bit of weed with me. I came prepared. I knew what I was doing. I wasn't stupid. So I grabbed the weed that I had left in my car when I parked up at Sam's out of the car, ran back up to the apartment, and we twisted up a nice little blunt. It's crazy to say I twisted up a blunt because nowadays I don't even smoke blunts anymore, bro. I genuinely can't. I don't even remember the last time I rolled and smoked my own blunt. Like, I've hit other people's blunts recently, but I have not rolled and smoked my own blunt in, oh my God, bro, probably over a year, honestly. I mean, it's been a while, dude. But either way, we went back up to Sam's apartment, we rolled, and we smoked this blunt. And as we were smoking, I finally asked Freddy if I could see this Molly. I'm like, yo, bro, can I check this shit out? And he's like, yeah, bet, no problem. So he busts out this baggie, and he has a couple capsules left in it. And I'm looking inside the capsules. They're just the clears, the standard little caps, nothing fancy. You could see right through them. But I'm looking in here, and this stuff is like sand, bro. I mean, normally, even when it's capped up, I understand in order to get in the capsule, sometimes you got to break it down a little bit. But even when it's capped up, you should still be able to see the crystals in there, even when it's all the way broken down. If you put a little bit of light on it, you should be able to see even just the smallest little shard in there, because decent Molly, if you buy, let's say, a gram of Molly from someone, if you're getting some decent shit, it should be very solid. You shouldn't be getting very much like powder or broken down stuff in your bag. You should really just be getting a nice fucking crystal, right? And that's not what I was seeing in any of these capsules. This stuff actually looked like mud. It was kind of disgusting. It was like sand, bro. It was all just powder, and it had this like yellowy tinge to it, but there was just you couldn't see a crystal in sight, bro. And I'm looking in there and I'm like, dude, this is the least appealing Molly I've ever seen. I see why you waited until we were in a dimly lit bar to pass this to me, because in any proper lighting, I wouldn't have put this in my mouth for $1 million. So I'm looking at it, and now I'm becoming a little anxious. I'm like, yo, what the fuck did I just take, bro? So I start asking Freddy some questions. I'm like, yo, Freddy, like, what, you know, like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? Like, where'd you get this from? And he's just like blowing smoke up my ass. He's like, oh, my plug, bro. Like, he gets that shit from Europe, dude. Like, it's fire. And I'm like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, dude, I took allegedly a 0.2 and I was not anywhere near a regular Molly user at this point. I was doing my cocaine, I was doing my ketamine, but I wouldn't call myself a regular Molly user by any stretch at this point. And I was feeling more geeked than I was bussing. I was not rolling whatsoever. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the fuck did you just give me, dude? And as he was talking about it more, I was getting kind of irritated, dude. I was getting angry. And that's what makes me think this might have just been meth. Because when I would take Adderall, I get irritable, bro. When I'm not off uppers, when I'm just like sober, maybe I'm a little stoned, or maybe I'm off like a downer, I'm a relatively chill dude, you know? I'm pretty hard to piss off. But off the uppers, it's like I rile myself up, dude. It's like I get irritated and I get pissed and I'm not afraid of a confrontation. So I'm getting, as he's talking, I'm getting fed up. And I tell him, I'm like, bro, don't ever, I say to Freddy, I say, don't fucking give me bullshit like this ever again. I don't know what this shit is, but this is the worst shit I've ever done. So Freddy, he is like taken aback by my statement. You know, Freddy, he was a little bit younger than us, so I think he kind of took the things that we said seriously. It was one of those things where, like, you know, he, honest to God, I mean, looking back, wait, how the fuck did he even get in the bar now that I think about it? I don't even know. I don't think he was 21. They must have just never carded him. I don't fucking know, dude. But either way, that's a mystery in itself, dude. They got to step it up at the bars. If they carded him at the bar and exiled him there, that would have saved me from this experience. But either way, they didn't do that, and now we're here. So I tell him, I'm like, bro, this shit is garbage. Like, don't feed me this shit ever again. And we're kind of going back and forth about it. And I'm telling him, I'm like, first off, I start breaking it down for him. I'm like, first off, this shit is all fucking powder in there, and it's broken down. It looks like shit. And he falls silent as I am just going off. I'm talking 300 words a minute. I'm yapping on this motherfucker, okay? I'm letting him have it, dude. And after I kind of finished rambling about how dog shit this Molly is, he just kind of said he had to go. Bro, like within 5 minutes, we kind of just fell into a silence, right? Where no one was really saying anything, and Sam just started playing his PlayStation, and Freddy just got up and fucking dipped. He just skedaddled. He just said, nope, I'm not doing this. I'm out of here. And he just fucking dipped. He was gone. And, you know, as he was leaving, I was so happy he was leaving. It put a smile on my face. You know, I was no longer very irritated. I said, hey, bye, Freddy. You know, hey, so great seeing you leave. So wonderful seeing you dip. Hey, have a good one. See you later. And after he left, I turned to Sam, and I'm like, Sam, why the fuck are you still hanging out with this kid, dude? Like, he's giving us fake fucking Molly, okay? He's a scumbag. He's not even fun to hang out. Like, why are you with this guy? And Sam starts telling me, he's like, oh, well, you know, he's like a good friend to me and stuff. And I'm trying to explain to Sam that someone who gives you fake drugs and mooches off you is not a good friend. But he, like, didn't really compute that, which, hey, whatever. We ended up spending the rest of the evening just playing some fucking Call of Duty. You know, we chilled for a couple hours, played some COD. I never rolled once this whole night, bro. I have no idea what was in those capsules. It was probably like 85% filler, whatever the fuck, hoopla. Could have been chalk for all I know. Could have been ibuprofen, and like 10 to 15% amphetamine. I mean, this was awful, bro. I just felt discomfort. It was absolutely terrible, dude. Or maybe on the flip side, maybe I am just, my serotonin has been completely depleted. I have no happiness left in my soul, and that's why I never felt it. The world may never know, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching this one. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for the daily live streams you don't want to miss out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.